We'll call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, all members are present. Approval of the agenda. We have two changes. We're going to strike 7G, and we will be adding in 7I, approved pay request number 7, South Industrial Park project. Is there any other changes, Council?
No.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with those changes?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Heidi. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Approval of the minutes of the November 2nd, 2022 regular meeting. I'll receive them in your packet. Is there any changes, corrections, or clarification needed within those minutes? Hearing nothing, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the November 2nd meeting?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Shellen, seconded by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. This now brings us to our public open forum. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Okay, come up to the podium and limit your comments to 3 minutes, please. Yep.
I got this letter in the mail today.
I need you to go to the microphone so everybody can hear you, please. Thank you. Okay.
I got that letter in the mail today, and half that stuff is not true on there. That campground manager, 2 years ago, he wanted to get rid of me already. He said in the fall, if you come back. And he is the most hated campground manager they have ever had, people are saying out there. He said one time, I run this campground and I want it to be like Breezy Point. Well, it's not like Breezy Point. And sure, I drive my side by side because I got a hard time walking. And I visit people I know from year to year. And 2 years ago, he told me, those people like when you stop and visit. You're good for the campground. And now he's saying, I pull in by people not being welcomed. Everybody waves me in, I'm welcome. You know? And sure, I pull in once in a while. I'll have a cigarette, but I ask if it's okay if I have a cigarette. Go, fine, you know. And then I cause problems between campers. That is false. I only had one problem with some lady up on the hill, because she said to me, how many times over and over, why don't you look in the mirror at yourself? And I wasn't even talking to the lady, and she would come out and say it. And then I said something back to her, and I never said one word to her all last summer, or her husband. And I've been there for almost 29 years.
Okay. Thank you for your comments. We won't take any action on any of this tonight.
Half that
I'm the
stuff
one that signed the letter, and the park board reviewed it, and that was their action. So
I don't think it's right after 28 years. I got along with everybody out there. People from other states, they want me to come and visit them in the winter. But I'm not gonna go. you know.
Okay. Well, thank you for your comments.
Yep. Well, how long will it be before I know?
It's been acted on as of right now, unless you want to make it an agenda item on the council at a later date.
So it could be a month or two?
Yeah, at least. It depends on how quick you can appeal the decision of the park board and put it on the council, but
You mean appeal it?
as far as I know, you can appeal what they have decided, but I've already signed it,
Now, I
so.
want to go back to the campground.
Mhm,
Sure, I drove my camp side by side around because I got a hard time walking,
right,
you
so,
know. And I didn't go 100 miles an hour, normal.
right. So, yeah, that's your option. You can appeal it and then put it on the council agenda, but I'm not guaranteeing anything's gonna change.
So if I can appeal it right now? Or how does that work?
I would get a hold of staff and have them put it on the, send a letter,
Just send a letter to who?
To the city.
Okay.
send a letter to the city that you're appealing the park board's decision, and
What's the address? How do I? Oh, it
City
should
Hall,
be on
Sauk
the-
Center.
Should be
Yeah.
on the
Right on
letter
the
I
letter.
got today.
Yeah, and it's right here on the letterhead. I'll give this back to you, so,
Okay, I just wanted you guys to know.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Is there anyone else that,
Oh, yeah, and then on that letter, it says I don't know if I told you, but it says I'm causing conflict between campers.
yeah, you had
That's-
mentioned that before.
Yeah,
um,
okay, I didn't know.
so- Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to the council?
I'll wait till, I have things to say, but I'll wait till we have a special.
Say it now.
Okay. Last chance, anyone else who wants to speak to the council?
I have a letter I'm going to read.
Okay.
I received a letter with a request to read into the record here, and I did give you a copy of the full letter because it is somewhat lengthy, so I will summarize. This is from Mary Dernsevic at 232 Willow Street, and this is regarding the street project that we just completed. She's upset that, she said she had to take out a loan to pay for the assessment, so she didn't have to pay interest to us. And she's upset with the city that it's incomprehensible and robbery to assess for the project. But she has two items that she's asking for reimbursement for. One is a lilac bush that was along the sidewalk, and the other is for a clothesline pole prop that they took, that was leaning on one of the trees, and she's asking for reimbursement to cover a replacement. So just reading into the record, we can talk about this later or get back in touch with her or check on the lilac or whatever it is, but she just wanted me to read that into the record so you were aware.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else who wants to speak? Okay, our public open forum is now closed. We have no public hearings. We'll then move on to reports and presentations. Police Department report. Joe?
Good evening, Council and Mayor. I got the October report. Pretty much more of the same, nothing crazy in October. A couple of the highlights here we saw was 153 traffic stops, 7 traffic accidents. We responded to 23 medicals in the city, 13 alarm calls. Again, we continue dealing with a lot of welfare checks, mental health calls. We had 20 of those. 5 different unwanted person calls at different residences or businesses. 41 assist other agencies, those being mostly State Patrol, Melrose PD, Stearns County, and Todd County Sheriff's Office. We assisted 10 businesses with different issues. The night guys found 5 different open doors at different businesses around town after hours. 5 warrant attempts. It looks like 11 or 12 citations for no driver's licenses were issued. Grand total of 753, which is pretty much on par for, if you look at the graph there, for the last, how many Octobers, and kind of on par with everything from the last few months. Going forward here, with December coming up, we are taking steps to start working on that the new December 1st for the winter parking. That guys have been going out the last couple weeks and up until December 1st, putting warnings, just kind of a general warning on the car saying this is taking effect December 1st. Come December 1st, we're going to try, the first couple weeks, try to take an educational approach to it, as far as probably trying to knock on some doors, issue some more warnings, and try to educate so people aren't getting, tickets right away December 1st. As long as there's no snow, we're going to try to make it educational up until for the first couple of weeks, and then if people aren't getting it, we'll start issuing some citations, and then documenting who we're issuing warnings to, who we're issuing citations to. If it comes down to it, there could be some towing involved. We're going to try to educate before we start issuing cites right away. And yeah, for the rest of end of the year stuff, looking forward is kind of hammering down on some training stuff. We try to do a lot of the training stuff in the December, January, February, get that knocked out. It's a lot of the mandatory stuff. So, nothing crazy.
Questions, comments?
Joe, you got 11 or 12 people without driver's licenses.
Yep.
Are these the same ones you get every month, or is it?
Yeah, it varies. I mean, there's a couple of frequent flyers, but then you get a lot of people from out of town and stuff. So a lot of times we'll get a headlight out and then
Yeah,
we'll have a driver's license. So it's
thank you.
kind of pretty common ticket.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Are the speed signs helping reduce
I
in
think so.
those?
They're helping. We took down. Me and Ben decided probably we took down the portal one for the winter months, just to save on wear and tear with the weather. But those other two, getting a lot of positive feedback from the one on Sinclair and the one on 71. And then yeah, we decided just to keep the wear and tear off that portable one, because it sits a little bit lower to the ground. I'm worried about snow and everything else, so we're gonna keep that until spring. We'll get that one back out. But they seem to be helping a lot.
The one thing on the December 1 parking, I don't know how much, I wouldn't push it more than a week
Yeah.
on
we're-
being,
Yeah, we're
you
gonna
know,
try to,
enforcing
it'll all
it.
depend on, I mean, if we get a bunch of snow that first week of December too, we'll take a different approach, but we have been going out every night. I think we started this week, on Monday, we started just putting placards on cars and stuff, and like I said, that first week for sure, we'll go knock on some doors too if it comes down, to try to get the point across that we will issue tickets if an issue, but we wanna educate and just kind of ease people into it hopefully, so we don't have too many.
my point is we got the signs up and we've been on the utility bill for the last 2 months, and then with placards for 3 weeks prior on the ones that are parking. I don't know how much more education that we can do to get people to pay attention to it, so.
Right, well, and we
After-
always have there's some slower learners, so we'll make sure
Well, after
we
the
hammer-
first week, once it's towed,
Oh, yeah.
because my opinion, that's enough time. After a week of the first, tow them.
Yep, and we'll
done.
get we'll get it out on social media next week too.
Right.
Especially after the Thanksgiving, we'll really make sure we push it out there and push the word, so we don't have any, hopefully, everybody figures it out and don't have any issues.
Okay,
Thank you, Joe.
thank you. Public Works Department, Ben?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Over the past month, plow trucks were all prepped and we did put those into use this week. Everything's working well, no issues noted so far. We installed all the new street signs for the Second Street project. There's a few more that had to be ordered in that area, so once those get in, we'll put those up. There's some poles out there that don't have signs on them. If you see something, that's why we're waiting for the new signs. The new street sweeper was tentatively scheduled for delivery this December. The manufacturing plant is still dealing with some material delays, so it is now scheduled for April of 2023. With that, I was informed from McQueen Equipment that the manufacturer of the chassis and the sweeper unit both gave us notice of price increases. So the purchase price is going to be up about $8,000 from where it was originally quoted at. Park Department, we were able to mow and mulch all the leaves across all of our parks. The mowers are now being cleaned and any needed maintenance performed before they are put into storage for the winter. All the Christmas lights have been tested and are prepped for installation next week. Outdoor rink, we did budget for a new furnace to be installed in the building, and our staff did the removal and installation of the new furnace, so that's complete and working. At the arena, the schedule is getting more filled the closer we get to December. We have rented out about 24 hours to other hockey associations in December alone. I am working on scheduling January and February rentals with them now. The new Olympia that we received is having a few issues, so the dealer has been up to work on it. He did order a few parts, and hopefully they come in this week, so likely next week he'll be back to get those put in and we can put it into use. For now, we're using the old Olympia, and that's working fine. And then after the repairs are made to the compressor system this summer, we have noticed that the compressors are running more efficiently and they're operating better than they have the past few years. So I don't know that we'll see a drastic decrease in our electric bill, but it should be a little bit. But certainly the system is working better than it has, so that's good. Any questions?
Questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Planning Commission report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. In your packet, you have a copy of the Planning Commission agenda. Due to the midterm election, our meeting was held yesterday. We did have an appeal of my decision, of the zoning administrator's decision, which was tabled until the next meeting. Other than that, there was just the October building permit report with 19 permits with $836,000 in new construction value. So that's all I have.
Questions? Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you,
you.
sir.
City engineer report. Chuck?
Good evening, Council, Mr. Mayor. Included in your packet are 2 pay requests, one for the industrial park and one for the 2022 street project. Both, a majority of the payment are for the non-wear-based paving that was done in the last month. Industrial park status update. They still have some lift station work to complete out there. We're waiting on an updated schedule from them. We haven't heard from them in a little while. But anticipating on a schedule soon. See how long till they complete that. 2022 project. Everything's pretty much tidied up for the winter. They got the base course paving done on phase 2 and 3. Seating's all touched up and completed for the year. Punch list has been created out there for both projects. So there'll be a lot of punch list touch-up items to complete in the spring on both projects. This last week, they installed a retaining wall on Maple Street, and so they got to do some backfilling behind that. And also, I believe the planning commissioners, or not planning commission, you guys got City Hall sidewalk. So take some time. We won't be pouring or doing any work anytime soon, so just the option layout, so take your comments and make any tweaks if you want.
Okay. That's on the agenda tonight to discuss, to give you some options.
Okay.
So, okay, thank you.
Yep.
Airport board report.
Okay, so the airport board met on November 9th. It was a regular meeting. A couple things, the 80 building addition permit has been acquired and the construction will be over the winter, although they have poured the concrete. O'Day will be installing the fuel system upgrades in the coming weeks. The closeout is expected on the 2021 pavement maintenance project now that the micro seal is complete over the compass rose. There's a relocation assistance study that's underway for the land acquisition project. That'll happen over the winter and hopefully we'll have something resolved by April. And the capital improvement plan was updated to include the bill funds, which is the additional funding that was appropriated by the federal government, $159,000 for 5 years for capital improvements. We have no action items.
Questions? Comments? Okay, we'll move on to action items.
So
So-
as I had reported before, we had a 49% increase for our health insurance for 2023. As a result, we reached out to various vendors to secure an alternative. After researching over 20 plans and conferring with the Personnel Committee, a plan was selected that will benefit both the employees and the city. The non-union employees at the time of this printing and the police union had agreed to the plan. The Public Works Union was in deliberation, and then this afternoon, they did also vote to move with the plan. The plan will result in an ultimate 13% increase in premium. We had budgeted 10, so that's just 3% over the proposed budget, rather than the 49% that we received when the renewal came through. The plan acceptance requires the council to approve an amendment to the benefit package by replacing the 85-15 cost share with a flat up to 1,400 cost share. Now, after meeting with the union today, they want that to be in effect for 2023, because in 2023, we'll be renegotiating contracts for the future years, but they wanted us to put in there that that is for the 2023 plan year. And so as a result, this change will save the city $96,180 for 2023. So what we're looking to do is to approve moving to the Blue Plus HSA plan and approve a memorandum of understanding with the union by replacing the 85-15 cost split with an up to $1,400 for the 2023 plan year. Actually, we're adding the $1,400.
Right.
For the 2023 plan year.
Questions? Comments?
Thanks for doing the work on that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, do I have a motion to approve
I'll
moving
make-
to that?
I'll make the motion.
Make a motion by Diane, do a second?
I'll second.
Second by Shallon. Any other discussion? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7B, approve rates of pay to 2023 ambulance department.
So during the budget process, the ambulance department proposed a 2% pay increase for 2023, and that preliminary budget was approved on September 7th. This action is to finalize approval of that increase. The fiscal impact is $4,600 for the year and is covered by ambulance revenues. So what we're looking tonight is to approve the 2% pay increase for the ambulance department.
Comments? Otherwise, do I have a motion to approve the 2% pay increase?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe. Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7C, approve resolution 2022-89 certifying election results.
So as part of the election process, the city council has to certify the election results of any election that it has candidates or questions on. On November 8th, 1,708 votes were counted for the city of Sauk Center, and I have the totals listed there of the, there was 58 write-ins for mayor and 30 write-ins for council member, in addition to the votes you otherwise received. So Warren Stone, Mayor, Heidi Leach, and Joe Fickman will be council members. So we're looking to approve Resolution 2022-89, certifying the election results.
Questions or comments? Do I have a motion to approve the resolution 2022-89?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Shallon, a second.
I'll second.
Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against.
I do have a form that I need you each to sign before you leave.
Okay.
And then one additional thing, today I was notified that the city of Sauk Center got picked for the hand count. So Monday I have to be down at the county, and we're gonna now hand count all the city ballots that were cast in order to verify that they match the machine. So that'll be fun. And it is
Yeah.
open to the public, so it's at 9 a.m. if you would like to attend.
Okay. Approve temporary street closure, Christmas in the park.
Pam Borgman, on behalf of Community Legacies Foundation, has requested the use of Sinclair Lewis Park for a Christmas in the Park event on November 26th. The request includes the closure of Park Road from Oak to Hickman from 2 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. We'll have Santa in the park, campfires, and sleigh rides with horses, and the detour will be 2nd Street South. So we're looking to approve the road closure and use of Sinclair Lewis Park.
Questions, comments? Do I have a motion to approve the road closure?
I'll make that motion.
Motion
I'll
by
second.
Heidi,
Second.
seconded by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7E, approve resolution 2022-90, writing off uncollectible accounts.
So each year, the city council takes action to adjust uncollectible accounts and send to collection, certify to taxes, or write off completely. And you do have the resolution with the complete list in your packet. We are recommending sending to collections $4,057.86. Remove finance charges and miscellaneous, and actually have an updated amount of $1927.60. There was an additional $19.56 of finance charges that we had found from a paid invoice. And then you took action earlier to certify to taxes $984.88. That amount was more, and those people did come in and pay, so it's been reduced to that amount. So the total amount to adjust from accounts receivable is $6,970.34, and that's Resolution 2022-90.
Comments? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-90?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Diane. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7F, approve resolution 2022-91, approving deferral of special assessments.
On November 2nd, which was the last meeting, you approved a resolution deferring special assessments for the 2022 project. And these are the deferrals for age, income, or disability. Since that time, we did receive one additional application, and we're recommending that for approval. It's parcel 94-.589350000. It's on Cedar Street. The total amount is $12,363.08. So we're looking to approve Resolution 2022-87, approving the deferral of special assessments.
Questions, comments? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2022-87?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Shellen. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7H, approve pay request number 7, 2022 street project.
This is the 7th pay application from C&L Excavating for the 2022 street project. There was a little bit of a change between the agenda packet and the updated one. You have the updated one in front of you. And it has to do with we found a little more completed to-date work that they were eligible to receive payment for. The total amount due for this is $693,336.14. The total amount earned to date is actually $3.8 million and some change. So $693,336.14.
Questions, comments? Otherwise, do I have a motion to pay for approved pay request number 7 to C&L Excavating?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Motion by Heidi, second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7I, approve pay request number 7, South Industrial Park Project.
Another pay request 7, these two run 7 and 7 and 6 and 6, and it gets confusing, but this is for Northern Lines Contracting for the South Sauk Center Industrial Park. The total amount completed to date on that project is $3,145,518.79. The amount due this request is $133,184.60.
Questions or comments? Do I have a motion to approve of the pay request number 7?
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Motion
second.
by Shellen, seconded by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Unfinished business, City Hall sidewalk.
So Chuck had referred to this earlier. This is a proposal for the replacement of the front steps, and I am asking you to review the proposal and offer suggestions or changes. We reviewed the requests, and there's a couple things that maybe you should take a look at, like the ramp. Is the ramp necessary that goes to the south, since we already ramp on the north side? Would that save costs? The heat, remember the top and the steps should be heated to avoid using salt. bricks, the question was, should they stay for contrast or should they be removed completely? And then the flagpole, we talked about moving that into the planter in front so that it's not tearing against the building when we try to fly it at half staff. The city engineer is looking for input so that we can do a final draft so the specs can be prepared. If you want to look at this outside when you leave, if you want to do that, that's fine. If you have comments tonight, it's fine. We're not going to be going out for bids anytime soon, because we'll probably do that in the spring. But we'd certainly look for comments, if you have any comments to offer tonight.
Anyone have any comments?
Well, the bricks, I'd get rid of those. Those are always breaking off out there. They're always having to fix them.
Yeah, the bricks would only stay on the flat.
Yeah.
The only thing we had when it's all brick like this, we had to put the railing on because there was no contrast steps to sidewalk and people were falling off of it.
Yep.
So the benefit to the bricks would be the sidewalk would be contrast, but on the other hand, you know, they do come with their maintenance issues.
On the ramp, it says, is it necessary, should it be removed to save costs? Is that something that we got another way for handicap accessibility?
No, we have the handicapped accessible on the other side. He was just wondering about people coming from the south, going to the city hall, if they wanted to walk around and come in on the north side, or if they wanted to go up a ramp. And we were looking at that as, a lot of that cost is gonna be railings. And, you know, or we can look at it and get an estimate either way. You know, if that would, you know, if you kind of prefer to have it, but if the cost is a lot, you're willing to take it out, you know, we can maybe get some estimates either way.
Okay. My opinion is if we can eliminate one side of it and save some money,
Yeah.
should do
Yeah.
it.
Sense.
On the heat, I know it's a lot more efficient now, but is it gonna make a big impact as far as our electric bill or?
We have it at the library, we don't see a real big impact. I mean, it doesn't heat it warm, it just keeps it from freezing.
Right,
And so,
okay.
And I know the salt is going to eat away at the concrete, so if you don't have to put the salt there, I think that's a good
our
idea.
issue is it's on the north side of the building, and
Yeah.
that's always a problem.
Yeah.
Bricks, I agree with Diane, should be just removed. Flagpole, I think whenever we go half-mast, it catches on the roof of City Hall now. So if we move it, would that solve that problem?
Well, we'd have to make sure it doesn't.
We'd have to make sure that it doesn't, but
Yeah.
I think we should at least look at moving
Yeah.
it, so we don't have to worry about that.
Makes sense.
Does anyone else got anything else?
I seem, tell me if I'm wrong, but I seem to remember some logistics being discussed about the heat. Something about the wiring or getting it with the current door situation. Am I wrong in that memory?
Some time ago, we were talking with an electrician one time, and they were looking at, you know, how could we potentially heat this? And he thought that they could connect up inside where the heater is in the entryway. And the other option, if we're taking out all the other concrete, is to come around the side. I mean, we would have to look at that more carefully to see where that could come from, you know, if we, you know, before we went out to bid. So there would be a specific area or direction that they could be. At this point, we're just looking at, you know, do you like the look? Do you like the design? Do you want to do something different? And then we can get those other details. And perhaps if we get kind of an estimate on ramp in or ramp out, an estimate on concrete, the whole thing versus that, and then what's the difference if we do heat or not?
Yeah,
You know, we could probably get some estimates before
Okay.
you make a final decision.
Sure.
for sure.
Sounds good.
Okay. Nothing else, we'll move on. We have no new business, moves on to our consent agenda. We have a schedule of claims, unpaid claims of $66,929.02 for a total of the same. October checks, paid claims / payroll of $1,872,101.54. Is there any questions about the consent calendar? If not, do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Diane, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. We have no informational items. That brings us to the end of our agenda. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Joe, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Shallen. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, 5 in favor, none against. Meeting adjourned.